I don't think he's going to open shove 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s. Like, that's a range that you tend to put people on. So it might be more like 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and ace king, ace queen if he's going to try and range him in a spot where you don't see this very often, an open shove for 30 big blinds into this many opponents.
Wait, who's a button right now? Oh, but don't you want to play the small blind first? Because the blind's going to be up tomorrow. I don't understand.
Are you stalling, or are you really thinking about that? That's kind of not nice to do that, you know?
Why not?
1-7-15.
No, but
Look, it's going to be my big blind next time. And you think it's okay if somebody do that to you next time?
we're not redrawing.
No, we're not redrawing.
Yeah, we're not redrawing, but tomorrow my blind will be
that's
like,
fine.
oh yeah.
No, I have a hand as well.
Okay.
It's all kicked off between the two former champs.
It's going to kick off a little bit more if he folds within a
Are you
second.
sure?
7s.
7?
That's what I don't understand.
7s.
Well, hang on. Something's just happened at the other table.
Yeah,
We can see Pesh de Silva walking off because he's just been eliminated by Fabiano Kowalski. De Silva got it in with 9s against ace-7, but there was an ace on the flop. And Fabiano Kowalski just eliminated De Silva in 14th place. Kowalski finishes the day with 8.7 million chips, so he's not quite chip leader, as De Silva cashes out for nearly 79K. It's Marquesh who's chip leader, and will be chip leader coming into day 5 with a stack of 9.15 million. Players concluded for day 4. It's time to bag and tag. So here are the stacks, the players we've been watching at our feature table, and how they equate into big blinds at the new level of 40-80. Marquesh, 9.15 million, 114 big blinds. John Juanda not too comfy with 23 bigs. The same could be said for Ben Heath. Dimov on around 38 bigs. The action resuming for day 5, the day we play down to the final 6.
I'm half alive these days, half of me is wasting away, disconnected and I lost my faith. Could my body please just take me back to you? 'Cause when it breaks down, I would follow you everywhere, anywhere. I'm gonna find you out there somewhere. Won't stop the search and I can't sleep till you're back here with me. I will follow you everywhere, anywhere. I'm gonna find you out there somewhere. Won't stop the search and I can't sleep till you're back here with me.
So that was 2018, this is 2019. It's the PokerStars European Poker Tour from Barcelona. Day 4 of the main event, returning from the dinner break with 20 players in our quest to play down to the final 16. Let's have a look at who the chip leaders are right now. Martin Suzor, who is at our feature table, has the biggest stack of the last 20, 6.16 million. Alexander Iversen, one of the Swedes who's gone deep in this year's main event, is second in chips. So yes, Suzor headlines the feature table, along with Balakrishna Patur, Johan Starakas, Isaac Haxton, Shannon Shorr, Cyril Monbrun-Massot, and Simon Brandstrom. And we're about to kick off the next level. It's level 27. Blinds are going to 30,000, 60,000 with a big blind ante of 60K. I'm James Hartigan, he is Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies. Can't believe Simon Brandstrom, his great-great-grandfather invented marketing.
What has become commonly known as branding.
Branding, correctly. Yes, that's it. Correctly and correct, both. Also,
Nice.
Braun, the master of coin, getting mic'd up right now.
Pleased to be rejoined by Spraggy for this level of the EPT Barcelona main event.
Good evening. Do you by any chance have a... Sir? Sir?
Did you consume dinner during the dinner break? Did you use it for its purpose?
I didn't, because I ate before I came on, and then I'll eat later because I'm all over the shop, James. I'm all over the shop. How about yourselves?
Spraggy, you'd be very jealous to know that James and I each had a quarter pounder.
Oh, I am jealous now, actually. I had some raspberries, but only a snack.
Raspberry is very healthy, antioxidants.
There's no charger here, right?
I hate oxidants.
Huh?
Or to the chairs?
I was looking for charge.
No, charger, yeah.
Cards in the air, and it's been folded to Ike Haxton on the button.
Does anyone have a power bank?
King 7.
Hey, I do. I have it, yeah.
Can I borrow it?
Action Haxton, our old friend. I like Ike, makes it 125,000. Simon Brandstrom in the small. Hey, his initials are small blind. Haha. Folds ace 5, interesting. Only 18 big blinds, so I guess it's pretty much jam or GTFO. Raise and take it, Ike Haxton.
Did you get the power bank? I have one as well. I just. No, you're all set?
I think I'm set.
Yeah, I have one as well. Somebody needs it.
Thanks.
I may borrow it. Yeah. Yeah. You want it now? Sure. I got my charging over there. Thank you.
There you go. Cool.
Cool.
Cool indeed. What a nice table.
I like when people share juice.
Do you need a cable as well? No. You're the man. Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
All right. Ike Haxton came prepared. The benefits of carrying a Merce.
Man purse?
A man's purse, that's correct.
You down with the kids, Joe? I'm not.
190.
It's all about breves. You gotta abbreviate, you gotta breve. Do some comms on the FT. The SOD in the background, hitting the VIPs. Action on shh. Johan Starakers. Raising pocket nines under the gun. Shores out. Brandstrommer's Dracula, 8-4 on the button, no. Suzor kick is out. And so is Mambrou Massot.
Easy game for Starakers.
And
Raise and take it.
Oh, okay. That's fine. This is a game. What can you do?
Exactly.
If you're going to raise with 7-2, that's fine. That's good for you.
Exactly. Then we can say it was a good hand afterwards, right?
Of course. It's all poker.
Yeah.
Just love seeing these friendships develop. It's a shame they all can't win. I mean, in a way, we have, though.
Yeah, as we said yesterday, Joe, this is a real winning moment, spending time together.
Looks like an all-in and call on an outer table. We are down still to 3 tables, and that is a double up for Bastillo. When is it going to happen, Spraggy?
When's he going to bust?
Yes. Do you know
how many jokes do you have lined up? Do you have like an A4 page full of them?
Yeah, this is going to be me. Ready? Bastillo goes broke. But he doesn't. He doubles up. Leandro double up Stillo. Dirty stack there, guy. It's Diego Falcone, who had his queens cracked by ace-9. If I sound a little off, guys, it's because I'm all hopped up on salt and sugar.
What happened during the break? You had a quarter pounder with what?
Quarter pounder with cheese. It was the. Do they have the same policy in the UK where if the fries aren't up to par, you tell them to take these away and I want a new batch?
Yeah, but nobody in the UK ever does, probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it in a foreign country either, but in America, there's no way I would have eaten the broken ends of French fries that I just had. Free bet from Susor. Win for Susor. Everyone in England is too meek to, too proud.
Yes, meek and mild, and what we do is we wait till we're just out of earshot, and then we complain almost loudly enough for somebody to hear, but not actually.
I've realized that there's two types of Brits. There's the ones that do that, and then the ones that start complaining before the fries have even been put in the box.
Right.
Now don't give me any of those old fries, mate.
Or chips, as we would call them.
Sure, chips. You're right.
Joe, have you ever been forcibly removed from a fast food venue within the UK?
This is a classic late-night talk show tee-up. Monbruma so jamming from the small blind for 1.3 million. It's kind of a biggish shove. I don't know. 25 big blinds. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it is quite a lot. Certainly a hand you could consider just raise folding with, trying to steal, but getting out of the way if someone makes a rejam. It's going to work this time.
Spraggy's referring to the time that I was denied access to a Burger King once because I was holding a bag from McDonald's, and I got quite belligerent with security. Who was...
Did they lay hands on you?
He wanted no part of my argument that he was losing out on business for the Burger King Corporation. His exact words were, and I quote, "I don't give a shit, mate."
Eloquently put.
You're watching PokerStars TV.
Security at Burger King asked the chat, yeah, they heard Joe was coming.
They saw me marching across Leicester Square with my golden arches in hand. So Monbruma so this time just raises, and luckily for him, he did not open shove because Johan Starakers is rocking out with ace-queen suited.
I raise.
Ark says Stapes his Twitch chat in real life. That's not far from the truth. That's fair. Kappa.
Starakers has announced raise. He's bumping it right up. 415,000.
And 3-bet back around to Cyril, who is way too handsome for this game. He's like if Bronn and Jaime Lannister had a love child. And makes the conservative but correct laydown.
Tell me, and I'll show you now. Otherwise, look, wait 30 minutes.
A good hand, better. You are better.
Huh?
You are better.
I had you.
Yeah. I can call.
Still never forgive him for turning on Tyrion.
Did they ever, I never watched the end of that show, did they ever get the ring Just like into the volcano or whatever?
Right down the pipe.
Nice.
Ace Queen suited now for Suitsor. Ace Queen Suitsor.
Suits you, sir.
Suited Sor.
Centaur.
Centaur, Minotaur, all the Taurs. Pator. You guys, this may be fun for you now, but when this sugar crash hits, whew, it is gonna get slow in here.
Am I gonna have to manage your behaviors again?
No, you're just gonna have to carry the weight of this broadcast once I.
Even worse.
Yeah, once the sugar crash sets in.
All right, well, here comes Shannon Shorr calling in the small blind with the Jack 10 of diamonds. We're off to a flop. There's a queen.
Ooh, boy.
Ooh, my land.
What's even happened here?
So Shannon Shorr has an open-ended straight flush draw, royal opportunity, and a pair. And Suitsor has second pair with an ace kicker, gut shot straight draw. I'll take Shor's hand, though. A delight.
It's just so hopeful.
Right, I mean, think about this, Joe. Name a bad turn card.
You can't.
Exactly. But name a good one, and the list is endless.
And it's hard to name a good one for Suitsor, even if you want a jack. Eh.
Two of clubs is bad. Sure, three of spades. Okay, there's plenty of bad turns, but he's got a very, very strong draw, chat. Very strong draw. I bet
It's hard to have
125,000 and called.
It's hard to have a stronger draw than this.
Yes. Eight's a bad card. Turns out there are more than we expected.
Oh my goodness. How did we not come up with the 8 of hearts?
I think Suitsor definitely could play pot control here, try and steer his hand towards showdown. Can't really get 3 streets of value, so we see check, check.
Oh my God.
3 of spades is bad.
What?
We thought he was going to make a royal flush.
By the way, when this is the flop, you definitely think I'm making a royal flush here.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about all the chips you're going to win, what you're going to buy with the money, and then this happens.
All right, turns out you guys were right. There are a lot of bad runouts. The pair of tens isn't going to cut it. Suitsor's ace queen will scoop 630,000 chips. What a disappointment. Are you disappointed?
Sorry, I thought I was talking to my dad for a second. I am disappointed. Yeah, I am. Nothing against Martin Suitsor.
No, of course not. We want to see nice hands. He's up to 111 big blinds, Joe. 6.665 million chips.
Shannon Shorr down to 20 big blinds. 20 players remaining. The aim is to play down to 16 tonight. If we don't get there, we're going to finish out this level and play one more. This fella here, Balakrishna Patur, has been super fun to watch today.
I think it was 1 million before I put it in.
There's nothing behind there, right?
No. Yeah, it's one of the small ones. Yeah. Okay.
So
Nothing
yes.
big.
So what you meant to say was yes, 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 yes.
There's nothing behind there, right? Well, apart from this huge stack of chips, no. Shorr with around 20 big blinds, ace-6 on the button. He's going to open.
What's that, 110? 135. 110 not possible at this blind level.
Brandstrom off an even shorter stack, just 885,000 chips. We're playing a 60,000 chip big blind. Versus a button steal, you could definitely make argument to play for an all-in here. Announces all in.
How much, please? Should be 960.
So just over 15 big blinds. I think it's going to be too big of a jam for Shorr to want to call it off with the worst ace, Joe. 8-6 offsuit, the worst ace you can be dealt.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Spraggy.
Yes.
Is
Yes, sir.
Brandstrom ever doing this with a Broadway hand that doesn't have an ace in it?
Yes, certainly. He should. I mean, he should be shoving a lot of his suited broadways here. He's going to be shoving some pairs here. He'll be shoving a decent amount of ace-x. The problem is he's also shoving all the really good stuff too. And ace-6 is just not going to do well. Even if you are up against king-queen suited,
right,
your equity isn't that great. And then when you take into consideration that he's shoving all of the better aces too, against his overall range, calling just becomes very miserable.
Tell you what we're going to do, chat. Every
how many
time
we are playing down to 12 or 13?
16.
16?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Every time Sandstrom wins a pot, we're going to do. Are we ready, chat? Get it ready. Oh, he calls.
Wow, he calls it off with ace-6.
He cannot go broke in this situation. Maybe that factored in. It is domination nation. And the nation at risk is the United States of America. Hold on, Chad. Don't do us yet.
Wish I knew what to do there.
Still that little matter of dealing out this board. King 4-7, 2 hearts. Shannon Shorr would like to see a few more hearts. 4 and the 7 also are potential straight cards for him.
5 of hearts, the big sweat.
That is not a helpful card. Shannon Shorr down to 3 outs. Otherwise, he will double up. Sandstorm. It's the 9. Pair of 9s for Brandstrom. That is a double up for him. Let's do it. Double up. Hit it, chat. There it is. There it is. Go Sandstrom.
5 more.
Up to almost 2 million. Double up. Shannon Shorr down to just 4 big blinds. Over under a number of hands till he's all in again, Spraggy.
I'll set the line at 3.
Line is 3. You heard it.
That's the thing, even though his tournament life wasn't on the line, Joe, calling it all off with ace-6 offsuit, and it's going to leave him with just 4 big blinds. He's in big trouble unless he can find a spin.
On Bruma Sode, 9 deuce. Lech. Mr. Rockers is out. Balakrishna Patur. One of the most dynamic players on the European Poker Tour. Here's another hypothetical for you, Spraggy. What kind of hair is going on under there? I'm going to say bald. I think
certainly a close shave. Certainly a close shave.
You think short?
Yeah, very, very short.
Patur makes it 130,000, 10-8 suited. Shannon with a technically worse ace, but one that flops a little bit better because you can make a straight with it. Ace tray.
I'll take the under on 3, Joe. How about 1?
The under is looking good right now.
Could very well find himself all in again here. Now down to just a 4 big blind stack. Has an ace. Folds it.
We have the benefit of seeing the whole cards, and I think when there's a raise in front of him, getting in with ace tray is not all that appealing.
Certainly, yeah, absolutely less appealing. You have no fold equity, even if you're shoving 4 big blinds. Maybe you're going to have some fold equity versus big blinds still if they get dealt something really silly. Potentially not with a big blind ante. Or with antes in general, should I say. It doesn't make a difference where it comes from. But yeah, you're right. You don't really want to jam over an open. That range is going to be slightly stronger than any random cards in the big blind.
You're getting called in at least one spot, and there's still plenty of action behind you. So far, the line of 3. 1 down. Suits are the boss at this table. Over 100 big blinds. With 20 players to go. Not too shabby. Or as the kids say, Ben, because you got to breathe it, NTS.
Yeah, not too shabby. Well known. Common parlance these days, of course.
Common parle.
Yes, sorry.
Patour's out this time. Shush. 7-4. Hey, you're probably live, right? If you get called.
You'd hope so. I don't think he wants to shove 7-4 offsuit here. That's the thing as well with the big blind ante. It's not like he is paying antes every hand. He is effectively got however many more free hands. Yeah.
That's right, CPT, common parlance talk. Thank you, elations. Good question, Twitch's school. Pay jumps soon, question mark. There isn't another pay jump until we get to 17th place. All right, guys, get your Sandstroms ready. Pocket 8s. Makes it 60, excuse me, makes it 125,000.
Steel's good. Feels good. Sandstrom wins again.
Do. Sandstrom.
Do indeed. 35 big blinds, 2.1 million for Simon Brandstrom.
Action on Balakrishna. Still a raging debate as to what's going on under that hoodie. Is it a gigantic bush? Is it a man bun? Is it a long flowing mane? Is it a shiny cue ball? We don't know. He does like the 10-8 suited. Here we go again. All right, calm down. He's going. Oh, Jen King says he's got a mohawk under there. Shannon's out. Isaac Axton Haxton. Ace 10 suited. Has Patour dominated. Has 30 big blinds to start the hand. Has maybe the greatest poker mind currently in the world.
It's a big advantage to have most of the time. I prefer him in a windier setting.
Like a part of the classic outdoor PCA final table. Back when he used to look like a vampire.
Check 9 for Monbrou and Massot.
And not the true blood kind of vampire that Massot looks like. We're talking sunblock to go outside type of vampire. Storackers ditches the king jack in the big blind. Despite getting some pretty solid pot odds. That is tight, eh, Spraggy?
Yeah, it is. You're up against none of the gun open and Isaac Haxton flatting in position. It's not a particularly attractive hand. But you're right, I think for a good price, King Jack could certainly come along. Big flop for Pator here. 2 overs in the flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Ike with not an awful lot, but he does have still ace high and of course the wheel draw.
And a 10 would be very bad for Pator. Seems like
certainly made some hands today at the feature table.
Yeah, he sure has. Pator bets for less than his pre-flop raise, 85,000.
Yeah, really small continuation bet here.
Less than a quarter of this pot. Sorry, fewer than a quarter of this pot. Cameraman agrees.
Fewer than 5 seconds for Ike to act. He makes the call. Very small sizing, has ace high and the wheel draw. 2 overs.
It's almost like a check.
Along.
Board pairs now.
Nothing for either player.
Watch
Pator from under the gun still has all of the overpairs in his range. Maybe Haxton 3-bet some of them.
I say Pator bets 400,000 minimum on this street.
I like it. I mean, it's quite a common strategy to go really small on the flop, keep your opponent's range wide, and then bomb the turn, really put them to the test. It would also set up, if he wants to, a potential river bluff.
Not a bomb. I was off. Still small. Still a quarter pot bet. What's the strat here? Keep them guessing. Look, if you're going to play against one of the greatest poker minds in the history of poker minds, get funky with your chicken. Get loose with your goose. Get weird with your beard.
What might be a little confusing to Ike is, given stacks, if Pator had a hand like 10s, jacks, queens, kings, or aces, that he would size up to try and go flop, turn, and river all in. So when he goes these small sizings, it might be indicative that he doesn't have a real hand, and I think Ike is pouncing on that perceived weakness. He's raising it up to 600,000 on the turn with very minimal connection to the board. You might expect Ike to bluff here if he has ace-10 of diamonds, maybe ace-10 of spades. Ace-10 of clubs bluffing must mean that Ike thinks he's getting really out of line.
Yeah, I mean, what value hands does someone play this way other than quad fours? Boom!
Wow. 3-bet on the turn from Pator. Ike's a non-believer, right back at you. All in. Ike has to fold. That is a huge 3-bet with just 10 high.
I told you, you gotta get loose with your goose. If you're gonna take on Hollywood, Haxton. Yeah,
Pator got plays, Joe. He's got plays.
That is the appropriate response, Isaac. Quoi? Que? What? Papa P is a savage. I agree, Lations. Now he's gonna put out the Instagram blast. Just bluff the pants off of Ike Haxton. Suck it.
Oh.
Nice fold, LOL.
Missed deal there. We just wanted to give Patur some more time to flex on social media.
It's a good question. You'll see anyway. Anyway, in 30 minutes.
5 minutes question.
Yeah, anyway, 30 minutes you'll see anyway.
Yes, I know. What did you have? Me? Yeah.
Jambo tweets in to say, enjoy the coverage and commentary on the Barcelona main event. All right, I will. Thank you. I'll try my best. Oh, do you think he meant to say? Do you think he meant to say I enjoy the commentary?
Yeah, but he's breathing like you told him to. You're shortening everything.
Oh, he breathed it.
Yeah, he breathed it.
Pocket queens for Suitsar. After a long day of commentary, sometimes I get a little suit sore. Too much suit.
That's why I commentate in the nude.
Yeah, so much better. You don't get any of those suit sores. Oh, is Patur gonna positive tilt? I love a good case of positive tilt.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? But I think defending here is an okay decision. 6-7 in the big blind. Got to call a fair amount of hands.
King 6-5, pair of sixes for Patur. I love this guy. I have no guess whatsoever as to what he will do. I'm just going to let him tell me, and then I will make no attempt to explain it.
This hand's going to be pretty high up for him now. He's going to defend a lot of hands. So my instinct, Joe, would be that he would call on the flop, but we've just seen him 3-bet all in on the turn against Isaac Haxton with just 10 high. So as you mentioned, our guess is as good as anybody's.
One more spade on the turn, so Suitsar picks up a pretty good flush draw.
Patur checks again. I tell you what, he seems pretty good at finding the right spots to pot control and the right times to go for it. Let's check again here with second pair, where some people might decide to value bet. Suitsar checking back once again. Does make the second nut flush at the river. 3-4 of spades is a straight flush before you jump on me. Thank you very much.
Agree.
Different hand.
Agree.
Different hand.
Not a flush, straight flush. Paired board though, too. So the second nut flush is far from the nuts.
Confirmed. Yep. I think Patur could go either way here. I think with the 6, some players are going to opt just to try and take the showdown. Some might turn it into a bluff.
I know one of these is black. Which one is it? Ah, it's a club. He checks.
I don't think he'll be able to take a showdown. Suitsar will look for a value bet. If he does have a hand here like 6-7 with the 7 of spades, he could very well play this exactly the same, checking the river with an intention to call. So Suitsar will look to target those lower spade hands.
I think especially once Patur checks his hand, you know when you have the ace of spades. You remember the ace of spades. But you got another spade, maybe you gotta look. 225,000 the river value bet, and Patur makes the right laydown.
Oops, sorry. I keep forgetting that one. 30, right?
30.
There you go. I'll get there. I'll get there. Keep putting it.
I like this nickname developing. Big Papa Patur.
Sorry?
You're from India?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm Indian origin, but I live in US.
I can hear that.
There you go.
Ah, got him. I was toying with it myself, Spraggy.
In the air and out.
I don't have as much experience with it as you do.
Banning people on Twitch.
Yeah. I was like, oh, how far do I let this go?
There you go.
We'll see it anyways.
Shannon Shorr gets a walk. Or as I like to call it, a walk.
Basically, I don't play junk.
Yeah, he doesn't play junk. Action on Sandstrom. Folds. Pocket fours for Sutsor.
19. Oh, that's going on. That's the last game.
Oh, did you?
Raises it up, Joe. 130,000 from under the gun +1 with a pair of fours. Staraka's into the muck. Patur with one of the other fours. And another four. Oh, it's an ace. Looked like a four. It's ace-4 for Patur.
Every hand this guy's in is a good one.
Reaching for chips. Calls on the button with ace-4 offsuit.
Shannon with 10-7. About half his stack to call. No fold equity. Not even suited. 19 players remaining. Prize jump at 17.
Certainly has enough room just to fold this one, I believe.
When it goes raise call 10-7, it's just gonna need an absolutely perfect flop.
I did not see that one. Holy crap. I thought I'm opening it. I did not see your bet.
Oh, you didn't see me? Okay.
No, I did not.
Ace, king, trade, 2 clubs.
All right.
Top pair for Patur. Big Papa Patur. Poppin' toppers. Toppin' pairs. Papa Patur.
Takes the lead once again here on the feature table. Suksor's fours down to just a 1 outer. He is going to opt for a continuation bet though. Certainly going to fold out some better hands occasionally. Going to protect equity against a hand like 8-9 of diamonds perhaps. What is the split percentage? That is a running deuce and 5. Both players would make a wheel straight. 1-4 would give Suksor the best hand again. What a cooler that would become. But for now, a bet of 80,000, Patur in position. Hand probably not strong enough to raise. He's gonna call and take it to a turn.
And that turn is the 9 of clubs. Neither player holds a club. We've already got someone in Twitch chat named Papa Tour. I will allow it.
Very quiet table.
Account created 2017. Story checks out.
Papa Tour. Checks behind. River card. 7 of diamonds, so a pair of aces will win at showdown. Sutsor looking to the heavens at the prospect of betting into Mr. Unpredictable.
Checks it once again. The problem with bluffing here is Pator's still going to have a lot of aces in his range, some hands like King Jack, King Queen, and King 10 as well. It's very possible he checks as strong as Ace 10 on the turn. If he has something like Ace 10 of diamonds with the flush completing, he might just take one for a check behind. So Suksor doesn't really want to bet in a situation where Pator more than capable of having it. He does have it.
So I don't
He checks
play
it
junk on
behind
button 2.
and shows down.
I don't play junk on button 2.
I didn't hear that.
I don't play.
I don't play junk on button opening 2.
Big Papa Pator pops another pot.
Put you on 8-7 offsuit.
Outer table hand involving Gail Bauman. She is all in. Action on Pasquale Braco. Both these folks were at our featured table earlier today, although I don't think together. Who's this caught in the middle here? Joe Moawad has called already, excuse me. And Braco also calls, so action on the side.
Okay, the ladies all in.
Lots of chips down that end of the table. Gale's action is complete. 8-6 deuce, rainbow. Action on Moawad. Here comes a stack. That's 500,000. Braco's all in. I'm not sure who's got who covered. How's that for a side pot? Has Joe Moawad looked at the board even once yet?
Trying to get those live reads. Who needs to know what the board is when you know what your opponent's got?
That is one time bank card down. Buys himself 30 more seconds.
So he looks pained.
Moawad, Foldawad. Braco collects the side pot. It's aces for Bauman. Moawad. What? 6-8, 2 pair. Bauman can catch a second pair herself or an ace. No dice, however. Wow. Wowee. Moawad says he folded ace-8 on the flop. Hi-ya. Braco attempts the sportsman-like thing. Bauman, understandably, a little shell-shocked from that. Ace is cracked by 8-6. See you at the final table, Pasquale Braco. Shannon Shorr looks very sleepy. Pocket sevens.
Well, he may well be headed to bed. He only owns about 5 big blinds, less than that. 4.
I think you can fold sevens here, wait for a better spot. It's just me.
Crazy talk, Stapleton. And you know it. Shor's all in. Not sure what the deliberation is for.
You're not sure?
I'm sure that that is a smaller raise than all in, which I'm sure is very bizarre. Oh, leaving 10K behind. The one chip trick.
That's the old pay jump, I believe.
Yeah. Effectively all in, picks it up with the 2 sevens. Shannon Shorr still alive in this tournament. Very short though.
19 players in the field. Shannon can outlast 2 more of them. He does earn more cash. Spraggy, is it just me or have you had enough of being tagged in this angle shoot hand?
That's good.
I was sick of being tagged in the angle shoot hand about 5 minutes after I was tagged in the angle shoot hand.
No, that's fine. I thought you were angry at him. You don't want to give him cards.
If there was a way I could reply to everyone at once, I would, but since I can't, I have not said a word about it.
6 fold.
Well, here's the thing. It's like everything that has to be said about the hand was probably said within the first 2 minutes,
Correct.
5 minutes. And then everyone's kind of repeating the same thing with varying degrees of aggression.
It's just
so some
weird.
people will be like, oh, yeah, that doesn't seem like something you should do at the poker table.
Right.
And then there's other people who are like, this is the worst criminal act I've seen in the history of the human race.
He should be chemically castrated, and if that doesn't work, literally castrated. That's the 2 ends of the spectrum.
Right, and it was a bit of a, listen, I think it was a bit of a naughty thing to do. I think it wasn't quite right. Was it legal within the rules of the game? Probably. But, it's done and gone.
Sheesh wants to know, is 1988 the amount of starting players in this event? No, that's the year this event started. Very, very, very well structured.
That's the year somebody would have actually last folded pocket sevens for 4 big blinds, as Joe suggested.
Yeah, I'm with you, Spraggy, on the quote-unquote angle shoot as another one gets through from Shannon Shorr. Was it an angle? Probably. Was it cheating? Probably not. And I think it's very difficult to read someone's intent. And I think there's a strong chance it was a premeditated angle, but a smaller but not altogether improbable chance that he saw something and changed his mind.
Thank you.
So, is it interesting? Sure. Should the guy be DQ'd and or banned for life from poker? I don't think so.
That's what some people are saying. It's like, not only should that hand be folded, he should be disqualified from this event and then never allowed to play poker again. It's like, okay, well, probably not that.
Whoever was in the bathroom stall directly before me on dinner break should be banned from poker for the rest of their life.
8 folds, 10 folds.
Sorry, rough dinner.
Do. Queen 9 for Sandstrom.
Raise 125. 3 fold.
Makes it 125,000.
Fold.
Mr. Rockers in the big blind with Jack 7.
5 calls.
You don't love it, but you're also, you know.
You kind of have to.
Yeah,
you fold too many of these, you're giving up too many big blinds. It's just the way it has to be. And then you get here to this flop with Jack-7, and you're like, yeah, I know I'm going to miss because this hand's terrible. I don't know why I'm playing it. I don't know why I'm here. Oh yeah, the 1.6 million euros up top with 19 players left. I better focus in. Can I do anything with Jack-7 on Ace-10-6? Probably not.
Don't ask that same question to Balakrishna Patur. And that hand is over. Dude. Hand number 131 here on day 4, EPT Barcelona 2019. Shannon Shorr under the gun, ace 5 of clubs. Starts the hand with 9 big blinds. Kind of how my dad feels about my mom. You don't love it, but you kind of got to go with it.
10 seconds. 500. Raise 500.
And once again, the virtual all-in. Also kind of like what my dad did.
Never quite committed.
Ike Haxton with a hand that is most certainly ahead of Shorr's range. Plenty of folks to act behind him. Ike with not so many BBs himself. Do you just fold this and let other people deal with it, or do you have to go?
It's really tough versus under the gun. You're certainly less excited about it. I think it is too much of a short stack. I can say that now because Ike's shoved, so it must be correct.
Right.
But yeah, I think I would end up just about going with it as well. He might be running into a little bit of trouble. We're playing a 60,000 chip big blind, which means this is a 14 big blind rego. Brandstrom's 9s. It's another very, very close spot. I'm not going to attempt to guess what might happen here. I believe we are on a pay jump as well, correct? 17?
Yeah, with 18 remaining. 18th place remains at the regular pay jump. So yeah, the next player out receives no additional money. Oh, please tell me Patur gets involved here. He does not. All right. So it's 60,000 more for Shorr to call. He can fold.
Thanks.
Money jump in one spot.
I'm sure he was well aware.
Oh, 18th is a money jump?
Yeah, money jump. One more to go.
I guess Shannon's gonna hang tight for a second. This is part of a new thing that's developed here with shot clocks is that now he is perfectly entitled to buy himself some time, wait to see if that 18th place finisher happens to go broke while he burns through his time bank chips.
Ace 5 of clubs.
Announces his hand before he makes the call. That is as unslow roll as you can get. That is a fast roll. Paxton shows his ace-10. It is Domination Nation. Shannon Shorr, the player at risk.
Yep. It would be fair to job.
Look at Ike. Such a generous soul. Fine with a chop. Fortunately, it does not work like that. King, Queen, 4. Ace-10, the 70-ish% favorite. Ike still calling for chop opportunities. That is not a chop card.
I'm being greedy.
Yeah, that's what being nice gets for you.
Too far. And Haxton does not hit his 10 on the river, so Shannon Shorr doubles up. Ike Haxton left with crumbs.
60. 560.
Shannon Shorr back in the game. He was patient off the 4 big blind stack. Made some folds, found a hand, got there, doubled up.
Ike down to 4 big blinds.
60.
I think Shannon Shorr, who's now up to 21 big blinds, is going to be pretty excited for not just his double up. You know why? You see that chip rack there? Now that doesn't just mean he's being moved at random. You know why he's being moved?
Oh, that is brutal.
Because there must have been a bust out.
Ah. They're going quickly, aren't they?
We are balancing because of this that just happened. Joseph Moawad all in with king, queen against pocket sixes, flops an up and down. Hearts now on board, 2, 3 hearts. And Moawad bricks everything. Sixes hold. Braco has been busting souls at this table. Joseph Moawad out in 18th place. 61,000 euros. So yeah, everyone just laddered up. And we are 1 player away from the end of the day. And we've got an all-in.
That's not getting through.
Pator shoves on Ike, who's got ace-king.
Ace-king in the big blind. What a hand to wake up with off the super short stack. Dominates Pator's jam. He will, of course, be calling. He's just seeing what's going on, Joe.
Correct.
As you mentioned.
And he did the gentlemanly thing of saying, this is not getting through.
Yeah, it doesn't look worth waiting.
And pretty quickly comes to the decision that let's just do this. Let's double me up and move on. So Domination Nation, yet again, last time this situation did not work out so well for Ike Haxton. King 6 deuce.
1 spade.
Don't do it, Spraggy.
Not as safe as the last flop.
Not as safe as the last flop, he says. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Bad luck, buddy.
Haxton
Not yet.
needs to catch an ace on the river.
There's no way. There's no way you're gonna survive that mistake.
Balakrishna assumed it was over, but he knows.
Good game, Mike.
Big Papa Pator claims another victim. Ike Haxton out in 17th place after losing 2 dominating all-ins in a row. 61.
Isaac out of action. Haxton hits the rail.
And that leaves us with 16, I think.
71,400.
Is that
Is
it?
that it?
I think so.
But Joe, we're supposed to spend more time together.
One more. We've got one more. Sorry, that was 17th place. That's why Ike didn't get the paid jump. I guess I was off on the paid jump situation. The problem is the tournament clock is down here for us, and so I don't have access to that information at the moment. I was going off of memory, but Ike was the 18th place finisher.
Don't tease me like that.
My mistake, guys.
King 8 of clubs for a raise. Suxor under the gun makes it 130,000. Pator passes.
So we will get to spend some more time together, Mr. Sprague.
Yes. Brandstrom again with one of those hands, Joe, Queen 7. He's going to let it go. Versus under the gun, very reasonable decision. Hand doesn't play or flop very well. Okay if you're up against a wider range, but versus the strong open from under the gun, well within his rights to throw it into the bin.
So, just to be clear, we are one elimination away from the end of the day. I did predict we would reach 16 in level 5 today.
Nostrastapsus.
You know, my mother is from the same hometown as Nostradamus.
Really?
Yeah.
What a claim to
Sorry,
fame.
she's from the same hometown as Nostradamus. He's a guy that can shove really big things up his nose.
What foresight from his parents to name him that.
Hardigan was in the room when I said that, and he just turned around and left.
He just Abe Simpsoned you. He walked
Yes.
in, heard that, and got his hat and left.
What's that mouse meme where he walks in with the door open and then slams it?
I'm not sure. I'm not up with my memes.
It's like a pocket ace. It's like an ace king meme. Someone in chat will know it. Family name probably, says Avli on Twitch. No, she really is from the same hometown as Nostradamus. This was spooky. So when I was visiting France, where she's from, her hometown, there's a huge mural of Nostradamus. Pocket twos for the small blind. Suit sore.
I bet he didn't see that coming.
Has pocket kings. I don't understand how Suit sore can be under the gun, yet facing a raise from Patur.
Patur appears to have the button.
Yeah. So I think our graphics are a little off here, kids.
6 something, 6-3.
You'll see this hand on the TV. You'll see that.
You said you don't trace trash on the button.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
It's not trash.
Oh, okay.
It's not trash.
You see my hand as well, so.
So it looked like a raise from the button from Patur with the deuces, and then a 3-bet from Big Blind with King King.
Okay. You read the system, and you can see in Poker News or PokerStars Facebook the request. 30.
So about that mural.
Yeah, so there's a big mural of Nostradamus. And there was a magazine, like a town-wide magazine that was published while I was there. And the front cover photo was a photo of the mural of Nostradamus with the various, just a random assortment of townspeople walking past it. And my mom was like, look closely at this. And for some reason, my mother had been walking past the mural while the photo was taken.
Oh, wow.
Of all the people and all the time she could have been walking past it, she was on the front cover of this magazine, which seems a little spooky to me. A little glitch in the matrix for you.
Well, somebody had to be on the front cover.
Right.
And if those other people had seen themselves on there, they'd have that story.
Trust me, that is the only way my mother is getting on the front cover of a magazine. Ugh. Beat you to it, Twitch.
Have you ever been on the front cover of a magazine, Joe?
That's a good question. I don't think so. My name was on the front cover of Card Player once due to a feature on me. And also Bluff. But I don't think my photo's ever been on the front cover, no. All is right. All is right with the world. That tracks.
Are you not going to ask me?
Have you ever been on the front cover of a magazine, Spraggy?
No. Just various local and regional national newspapers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't want to go into it.
Your photo.
Yeah, I don't want to. I shouldn't. I don't want to go.
Was
into
it for a tri-state killing spree?
I'm.
You don't want to comment on an open investigation.
At the advice of my legal team, I'd like to end this conversation. Ace-6 for Pator. Look at this, raised to 130,000.
Big Papa Pator.
I'm on it. 4 raise all in.
Well, Brumasso all in over the top for his shortish stack. Pocket tens.
It's 820.
Pator, when you run the way Pator has been running, I can understand wanting to call.
10 seconds. Fold.
He does lay it down. He did raise under the gun.
He wants some credit, though, God damn it.
Shows an ace.
The ace of spades, no less. The best card in the deck.
Have your sub.
Inside or outside?
Next time.
No, you said inside or outside. That's the key, right?
Small blind, big blind, okay. Please. 60, 30. One fold.
Action folds around the Zootsor in the cutoff.
3 raise, 130.
It was a Zootsor riot.
3 raise. 3 raise.
Brumasso picks up the 8s. Short stack on the button. Announces all in.
1 million.
1 million chips.
5 fold.
10-6 for Pator. He's out of the way. Zuxor. Not strong enough, I don't imagine. Still a lot to call off. A7 offsuit. Shows an ace as well. Credit where it's due.
I also had one. I had an ace also.
Do you guys think these guys, they'll all go to dinner after this?
Dodging bullets.
If there's time.
Now he has it all the time.
They seem to be in good spirits. Very jovial atmosphere. They seem to be getting on well. I don't know why they wouldn't dinner together. Do you think they'll keep in touch after the tournament?
I would bet on it.
Do you think they'll sort of move in together in some sort of living arrangement, some sort of poker house, holidays together maybe? Seems like it's heading that way.
I think I heard one of them. I think I heard Johan Starakis ask Martin Sutsar if he would be the godfather of his next child.
Heartwarming. But understandable.
I was thinking of asking him myself.
Joe, you can't look after yourself.
I thought it was just about renouncing Satan on their behalf. Actually, I can't even really do that, to be honest.
It's a big commitment.
It's a lot, you know.
It is a lot.
Plus, I'm golfing with Satan next week. It seems rude to renounce him.
Never met the bloke. I've never met the bloke, so yeah, I don't.
Fun guy.
Don't really want to comment.
Bad tipper, though. I usually have to sneak back in the restaurant and leave a little extra.
Ugh, the worst.
It's embarrassing. Other than that, though.
Chat just asking on the progress of Isaac Action Haxton. He has indeed been eliminated. We are down to 17 players. It is our intention to play to 16 tonight. Confirmation there in the top right-hand corner of your screen and the remaining players in the field. And of course, our initial entrance in this record-breaking EPT Barcelona main event, 1,988 entrants stepped up, just 17 remain. First place, over 1.6 million euro.
Action folds the Big Papa Patur on the button. Big Papa's gonna pop it up. Bebopping and scotting. $130,000. Do-do-do-do. Don't do-do-do-do it. I didn't say 1988 was the year the EPT started. I said it was the year that this actual tournament started. It's a very slow structure.
Here's a 3-bet from Brandstrom. Perhaps cottoning on to the fact that Patur is opening a very wide range of hands, has been folding to some 3-bets.
This raise is almost Darude. You guys may have noticed we lost the graphics. You know why? There's an all-in and call out here, up in them streets. Sick race alert, pocket jacks versus ace king. Kimo Kirko is the player all in with jacks. Rui Sousa with ace king. We are flipping for the end of the day. Ace in the window. Couple of backdoor outs for jacks, as well as the 2 jacks hopefully left in the deck. For now, Kimo Kirko is on the chopping block. The turn is no sweat whatsoever. Just a jack will save Kirko. Day 4 over.
Done.
Kimo Kirko, Kimo Busto at the hands of Rui Souza. And everyone's gonna get a little bit of a reprieve from some very long days that have been had in this tournament. Only 10 p.m. local time. This is about 2 hours later, earlier than we have been finishing. We are at 16 players. 16 of 1,988 remain. Kimo Kirko did ladder up, however, 71,400 euros, a 10,000 euro difference between 18th and 17th place. Back to the featured table. This will be the last hand. Is it over? No, we're still in. Small blind versus big blind. The bitter end. Suitsor limped with Queen Jack. Monbrew doesn't want to get too weird. Just going to take the free flop with the 4 deuce. Jack 5-6, so a gut shot draw for Monbrew Massot. Top pair for Suitsor. Ian asks, how much for first place in this event? 1.6 something million euros.
This is a situation where Montbrun-Marceau might find himself kind of getting involved in a pot he doesn't want to. He does flop a gut shot, doesn't stab, checking behind just before the end of the day.
You're just a couple of
open-ended though.
You're just a couple of check folds away from making it to day 5. Spraggy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's one of those where you get 4 deuce in the big blind, you're like, okay, I made it to the next day. Then all of a sudden you're in a situation where you kind of have a little something, but it must be mentally tempting to just throw it away and move on to the next day, right?
I mean, just act like he raised pre-flop. Montbrun-Marceau starts the hand with 23 big blinds. Now, this is something you have to consider here, Spraggy, that if you do make your straight, it's a 4-card straight board. Isn't it hard to get paid?
3 is a little bit better than the 8 because you have a less strong straight. It's not necessarily too tough to get paid, I guess. If your opponent decides to bluff, you can pick it off really easily. Talk about mentally checking out. Montbrun-Marceau, anything but. He's raising the turn with 4 high.
Whoops.
Well, the flop checked through, so he might not believe that Suxor has a hand as strong as a jack, but indeed we can see that he does. Off to a river card, 680,000 chips in the middle.
That ain't
and
the straight.
9 is not it. But if Montbrun-Marceau was bluffing on the turn with a bear 8 or with a flush draw, he did just improve. So I'd wonder if he decides to use this hand as his bluff.
I always just assume that my opponent has the hand.
He's all in.
Wowee!
That's nearly twice the size of the pot for an overbet.
Bluffing the last hand?
Yes.
Braun suggests trial by combat on the river. Sutsor is not looking like he wants to double up this man on the last hand of the night.
Wow, what a bluff.
Try 5 fold.
4 to the straight, backdoor flush gets there.
My answer is always yes, I'll show if you fold, but I don't want to say it and make you call. Great
Yeah,
bluff indeed. Gets top pair to lay it down. Shows the 4 high bluff. Last hand of the night. Fireworks.
Nice river. Well done. Good game.
Nice.
What a great end to the action.
It's the last.
That's crazy.
Is this Bastille Day?
That river. Thank you. Thank you.
What an end to day 4 here on the EPT. Barcelona is always a banger. This is how the feature table is shaping up to end the night. 16 players will shuffle up again tomorrow. Martin Sutsor, despite that fold, still on top. Big Papa, Balakrishna Patur, second in chips, followed by the other folks at the table. For all of the recaps regarding today's action, go to the PokerStars blog. Got live updates from this main event, as well as many, I should say, all of the other many tournaments happening here at EPT Barcelona. PokerStarsblog.com. Spraggy, thanks so much, my friend.
My pleasure.
Always a pleasure hanging with you. And we'll be hanging again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 12:30 local time for day 5 as we play from 16 down to a final table. You guys have been watching EPT Barcelona. Smell you later.